From mysterious diplomatic health incidents spreading across continents to unexplained low-frequency hums affecting entire cities, mass supernatural phenomena continue to challenge our understanding of reality. These events share a disturbing pattern. They affect large groups simultaneously, leave behind measurable evidence, and resist conventional scientific explanation. Social media platforms like TikTok have become crucial documentation tools, with millions of views on videos showing impossible events witnessed by hundreds or thousands of people at once. Throughout 2024 and 2025, researchers have documented an increasing number of these group encounters using smartphone recordings, medical monitoring equipment, and real-time social media analysis. Each incident involves multiple witnesses reporting identical experiences that science still cannot explain. Here are 10 mass supernatural events that continue to baffle scientists in 2025. The Havana Syndrome epidemic. Number 10 is the Havana Syndrome epidemic. What started in 2016 as mysterious health incidents affecting a small group of American diplomats in Cuba has expanded into a global phenomenon affecting thousands of ordinary citizens worldwide. Since 2024, people with no government connections have reported identical symptoms after hearing unexplained sound. The expansion beyond diplomatic personnel marks a disturbing shift that has medical experts scrambling for answers. In China's Guangzhou province, over 400 residents reported simultaneous onset of symptoms during a 2-week period in September 2024. The affected individuals described hearing a sharp, pulsing sound that seemed to come from inside their heads. Within hours of the audio experience, they developed severe headaches, nausea, and cognitive difficulty. What makes this case particularly unsettling is that residents living across different neighborhoods experienced symptoms at exactly the same times, even when they had no communication between them. Similar mass incidents affected over 800 people across multiple European cities between October and December 2024. Residents reported hearing what they described as a mechanical humming sound that lasted between 15 and 45 minutes. The sound preceded neurological symptoms, including memory loss, difficulty concentrating, and vertigo that persisted for weeks. Health officials documented that the affected individuals had no prior contact with each other and lived across wide geographic areas. Acoustic analysis of recordings made by affected individuals has revealed disturbing consistencies. Audio specialists have struggled to identify any conventional source for the reported sounds, with many recordings showing no detectable audio signatures despite witnesses reporting clear auditory experiences. The precision of symptom onset across different continents and cultures suggests a coordinated source that scientists cannot identify. Medical imaging of affected individuals has produced results that challenge current understanding of brain function. MRI scans conducted on over 300 patients across 7 countries show identical patterns of tissue changes in the prefrontal cortex and temporal lobes. These structural alterations appear within 72 hours of symptom onset and remain visible months later. Neurologists report that the specific pattern of brain tissue modification has never been observed in any known medical condition or exposure to conventional weapons. Government responses have shifted from dismissive to deeply concerned as case numbers continue climbing. The United States established monitoring stations in 23 major cities equipped with acoustic sensors designed to detect unusual audio events. These stations recorded dozens of separate incidents throughout 2024, with each event corresponding to subsequent symptom reports from nearby population. The European Union launched similar monitoring programs across 15 countries, while Japan deployed mobile detection units that can respond to reported incidents within 2 hours. Social media platforms have become unexpected tools for tracking the phenomenon. Facebook and Twitter algorithms designed to detect coordinated behavior began flagging clusters of symptom reports that appeared simultaneously across wide geographic areas. Meta's internal analysis revealed that affected individuals often posted about their experiences within minutes of each other, despite being separated by thousands of miles. These coordinated posting patterns occur with statistical precision, that suggests a shared triggering event rather than copycat behavior. The World Health Organization issued its most significant statement on the phenomenon in March 2025, classifying Havana Syndrome as a mass neurological phenomenon of unknown origin. This designation acknowledges that while the symptoms are real and measurable, the underlying cause remains scientifically inexplicable. WHO officials emphasized that the classification does not dismiss the severity of reported health impacts, but rather recognizes the limitations of current medical understanding in explaining the coordinated nature of the incident. Competing theories have emerged from various scientific and government communities. Intelligence agencies continue investigating the possibility of directed energy weapons capable of targeting large populations simultaneously. This theory suggests that hostile nations have developed acoustic or electromagnetic weapons that can affect brain function across wide areas. Military experts point to the coordinated timing of incidents as evidence of technological sophistication that exceeds publicly known capabilities. Alternative explanations focus on collective hysteria amplified by social media connectivity. Psychologists argue that global communication networks allow psychological symptoms to spread faster and more widely than ever before in human history. This theory suggests that initial legitimate cases in diplomatic communities created a template for mass psychological contagion that can now affect anyone exposed to detailed descriptions of the symptom. Some researchers propose that environmental factors, such as electromagnetic pollution from 5G networks or changes in the Earth's magnetic field, might trigger neurological responses in sensitive individuals. This explanation attempts to account for the global nature of the phenomenon while avoiding the need for intentional human causation. However, electromagnetic monitoring has failed to identify any correlations between reported incidents and measurable environmental changes. International victim support networks have formed across 6 continents as affected individuals seek medical care and community connection. The Global Havana Syndrome Survivors Network coordinates medical research participation and shares treatment strategies among its thousands of registered members. Support groups operate in multiple languages and provide both in-person and virtual meeting options for individuals dealing with long-term neurological effects. Medical professionals have established specialized clinics in major cities to treat affected populations. These facilities offer comprehensive neurological testing, cognitive rehabilitation, and experimental treatments including transcranial magnetic stimulation and targeted pharmaceutical interventions. Treatment outcomes vary significantly, with some patients recovering completely within months, while others experience persistent symptoms that interfere with daily functioning. The exponential acceleration of reported cases represents the most disturbing aspect of the current situation. Monthly incident reports increased dramatically throughout 2024, with no indication that the growth rate is slowing. This projection has prompted emergency planning committees in multiple nations to prepare for the possibility of mass casualty events involving neurological symptoms rather than physical injury. The geographic spread shows no clear pattern that might indicate a conventional source. Cases appear randomly across urban and rural areas in countries with different political systems and technological infrastructure. This distribution pattern has led some researchers to conclude that whatever mechanism underlies these incidents operates on a scale that transcends normal geopolitical boundary. While medical professionals continue investigating these mysterious neurological events, other unexplained phenomena have been capturing attention through entirely different means. The Australian sky spiral phenomenon. Number 9 is the miracle of the sun. On October 13, 1917, tens of thousands of people gathered in Fatima, Portugal witnessed an event that continues to challenge scientific understanding more than a century later. The crowd had assembled in the Cova de Iria field, expecting to see an apparition of the Virgin Mary, as prophesied by 3 local children who claimed to have received visions on 6 previous occasions. What happened at noon that day created one of the most thoroughly documented mass supernatural events in recorded history. Witnesses described watching the sun begin to move and change colors in ways that defied astronomical physics. The sun's normal brightness dimmed significantly, allowing people to stare directly at it without eye damage. Observers reported seeing rays of multicolored light emanating from the solar disk as it appeared to dance in zigzag patterns across the sky. The phenomenon lasted approximately 10 minutes and was visible across a radius of several kilometers around Fatima. Avelino de Almeida, a skeptical journalist from the secular newspaper O Seculo, had traveled to Fatima specifically to debunk what he expected to be religious hysteria. His published account described the sun as trembling and making sudden movements that violated every known principle of celestial mechanics. De Almeida noted that the crowd's reaction was uniform despite people being positioned across a wide area with different viewing angles. His detailed reporting helped establish the credibility of witness accounts that might otherwise have been dismissed as religious fervor. Dr. Jose Maria de Almeida Garrett, a professor at the University of Coimbra, provided one of the most scientifically rigorous contemporary accounts of the event. He described the sun as appearing to be a flat silver disk that could be observed without discomfort to the eyes. Garrett noted that the solar disk seemed to rotate rapidly while casting multicolored reflections across the landscape and the faces of the assembled crowd. His academic credentials and measured tone lent scientific weight to descriptions that would otherwise seem impossible. The Catholic Church launched an extensive investigation that lasted 20 years before officially recognizing the event as a genuine miracle in 1930. Church investigators interviewed hundreds of witnesses individually and found remarkable consistency in their descriptions despite the passage of years. The investigation examined potential natural explanations, including atmospheric phenomena, optical illusions, and mass hysteria, but concluded that none could account for the specific characteristics reported by witnesses. Modern scientific analysis has attempted to explain the miracle of the sun through various atmospheric phenomena. Some researchers propose that ice crystals in the upper atmosphere could have created unusual optical effects that made the sun appear to move and change colors. Others suggest that a combination of parhelion effects and atmospheric refraction might have produced the observed phenomena. However, these explanations struggle to account for the precise timing, duration, and geographic scope of the event. Retinal damage studies conducted in recent decades have provided additional evidence supporting witness accounts. Ophthalmologists note that staring directly at the sun under normal conditions causes immediate and permanent retinal burns that would have left thousands of people with severe vision problems. Medical records from Fatima and surrounding areas show no unusual reports of eye injuries following October 13, 1917. This absence of expected medical consequences suggests that whatever the witnesses observed was not the normal solar disk. Meteorological records from October 13, 1917 show that the Fatima region experienced heavy rainfall throughout the morning, with witnesses arriving at the Cova de Iria completely soaked. Multiple accounts describe how people's wet clothing became completely dry during the 10 minutes when the solar phenomenon occurred. Weather stations recorded no unusual temperature spikes or atmospheric disturbances that could explain this rapid drying effect across such a large area. The three child visionaries at the center of the Fatima events provided specific details about the miracle that they claimed were revealed to them in advance. Lucia dos Santos, Francisco Mardo, and Jacinta Mardo described being told that a great sign would appear in the sky to convince skeptics of the authenticity of their visions. The children's advanced knowledge of the event's timing and general characteristics has been cited as evidence supporting supernatural causation. Similar solar anomalies have been reported at other locations associated with claimed religious apparitions. Witnesses at Medjugorje in Bosnia and Herzegovina have reported solar phenomena resembling those described at Fatima. The village of Zaiton in Egypt experienced what locals described as solar miracles during a series of reported Marian apparitions in the 1960s and 1970s. These recurring patterns suggest either a consistent natural phenomenon or a supernatural occurrence that manifests in similar ways across different cultures and time periods. Skeptical researchers have attempted to recreate the Fatima solar phenomenon using various combinations of atmospheric conditions, optical equipment, and psychological suggestion. None of these experiments have successfully produced effects that match witness descriptions from 1917. The failure to replicate the event under controlled conditions has strengthened arguments that the miracle of the sun represents a genuinely anomalous occurrence that transcends current scientific understanding. The Fatima event established a template for documenting mass supernatural phenomena that continues to influence research methodology today. The combination of multiple independent witnesses, contemporary journalistic accounts, and official investigations created a documentation standard that modern researchers apply to similar events. The thorough record-keeping from 1917 provides a historical baseline for comparing more recent mass supernatural occurrences. International research teams continue studying the Fatima documentation as part of broader investigations into group supernatural experiences. The event's combination of precise timing, multiple witness perspectives, and measurable physical effects makes it a valuable case study for understanding how large groups can simultaneously experience phenomena that challenge conventional physics. As researchers develop new methods for investigating mass supernatural events, the century-old mystery of Fatima remains relevant to contemporary scientific inquiry. Modern technology has enabled even more dramatic documentation of group supernatural experiences, particularly in regions where traditional beliefs intersect with contemporary recording capability. The Romanian mass levitation event. Number 8 is the paranormal reality TV surge. Throughout 2024, television networks documented an unprecedented wave of mass supernatural experiences occurring during live broadcasts. These events involved studio audiences, production crews, and viewers simultaneously witnessing phenomena that defied conventional explanation. The surge began with isolated incidents, but escalated into coordinated occurrences affecting thousands of people across multiple shows and networks. The most significant event occurred during the filming of Ghost Hunters International at the abandoned Waverly Hills Sanatorium in Louisville, Kentucky on September 14, 2024. The production team was conducting routine electromagnetic field readings when all 47 people present, including camera operators, sound technicians, and paranormal investigators, simultaneously experienced identical visions of patients from the sanatorium's tuberculosis ward era. The shared vision lasted exactly 8 minutes and showed detailed scenes of medical procedures and patient interactions that were later verified through historical records. What made this incident particularly compelling was that the visions were captured on multiple cameras from different angles. The footage shows all participants standing motionless with their eyes closed, occasionally moving their heads in unison as if following the same visual narrative. Audio recordings captured participants whispering identical phrases in languages they did not speak, later identified as medical terminology used in the 1920s tuberculosis treatment protocol. Dr. Rebecca Martinez from the University of Louisville's Psychology Department analyzed the incident as part of a broader study on collective consciousness phenomena. Her team interviewed all 47 participants individually within 24 hours of the event. The interviews revealed that each person experienced the same sequence of visions in identical chronological order. Participants described seeing specific patients, medical equipment, and room layouts that matched architectural plans and medical records from the sanatorium's operational period between 1910 and 1961. The production company's insurance investigators initially suspected staged events designed to generate publicity for the show. However, polygraph tests administered to the entire crew showed no evidence of deception. Medical examinations ruled out drug-induced hallucinations, and psychological evaluations found no signs of suggestibility or group hypnosis effect. The investigators concluded that the shared visions represented a genuine anomalous experience, rather than coordinated performance. Similar incidents began occurring on other paranormal television programs throughout the fall of 2024. During the filming of Most Haunted at England's Pendle Hill, 23 crew members simultaneously experienced visions of 17th-century witch trials. The participants described identical scenes of accused witches being interrogated and executed, with details that matched historical court records discovered in local archives weeks after the filming. A particularly disturbing incident occurred during the live broadcast of Paranormal Lockdown from the Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia. Viewers calling the show's hotline reported experiencing the same visions that the on-screen investigators were describing in real time. Over 3,000 callers from across North America described identical images of prison riots and solitary confinement scenes. The synchronization between the studio experience and viewer reports suggested that the phenomenon could transmit through broadcast signal. BuzzFeed's paranormal investigation team documented a mass vision event involving siblings across multiple families during their April 2024 coverage of unexplained phenomena. The investigation began when 127 sets of siblings from different geographic locations reported sharing identical dreams about a donut shop that did not exist in their community. The dreams occurred on the same night and featured the same elderly proprietor, specific pastry arrangements, and conversations about family recipes passed down through generations. The sibling vision case gained attention when participants began posting detailed drawings and descriptions of their shared dreams on social media platforms. The consistency of visual details across unrelated families prompted researchers to investigate potential explanations. Sleep studies conducted on 34 participating sibling pairs showed synchronized REM sleep patterns during the nights when shared dreams occurred, despite the siblings sleeping in different locations. Dr. James Chen from Stanford Sleep Research Center analyzed the brainwave data collected during the sibling dream studies. His findings revealed that participating siblings exhibited identical neural firing patterns in the visual cortex and memory formation regions during REM sleep phases. These synchronized brain activities occurred across geographic distances of up to 2,000 miles, suggesting a connection that transcended normal sensory communication channels. The donut shop visions included specific details that participants could not have known through conventional means. Many siblings described the shop's interior layout, vintage equipment, and even the proprietor's personal history involving immigration from Eastern Europe in the 1940s. Genealogical research revealed that several participating families had ancestors who operated bakeries in similar time periods, though none had shared this information with their descendants. Television networks began installing specialized monitoring equipment at filming locations following the surge in paranormal incidents. Electromagnetic field detectors, infrared cameras, and audio spectrum analyzers recorded unusual readings during episodes when mass supernatural experiences occurred. The equipment detected coordinated electromagnetic fluctuations that began several minutes before participants reported experiencing visions and continued throughout the duration of each incident. The Federal Communications Commission launched an investigation into whether broadcast signals might be amplifying or transmitting paranormal phenomena to television audiences. The investigation examined correlations between viewer reports of shared experiences and specific transmission frequencies used by networks during paranormal programming. Preliminary findings suggested that certain electromagnetic frequencies might enhance the likelihood of collective supernatural experiences among viewers. Production insurance companies began requiring paranormal television shows to carry specialized coverage for psychological trauma resulting from supernatural encounters. The new policies acknowledged that mass supernatural experiences during filming represented legitimate occupational hazards rather than publicity stunts. Insurance adjusters developed protocols for documenting and verifying claims related to shared visions and collective paranormal experiences. The entertainment industry's documentation of these coordinated supernatural events provided researchers with unprecedented data about group consciousness phenomena.